As we all know, the Boston Celtics are a team who has been criticized for playing opponents who have had injuries throughout the playoffs. We've heard the caveats of no Jimmy Butler and no Terry Rozier versus the Miami Heat. We've heard the no Donovan Mitchell, no Jarrett Allen, and now the no Tyrese Haliburton for the last two games versus the Indiana Pacers. And the narrative for the Boston Celtics is that they have an easier path to the finals. What people forget to know and mention, though, is that the Celtics have an injury of their own in Kristaps Porzingis, who has been sidelined since Game 3 of the first round of the playoffs versus the Miami Heat and has yet to play in 2 series for the Boston Celtics. We have a massive injury update for you guys revolving around the third star in Kristaps Porzingis, as he was seen at practice today participating fully with the team. We're going to be diving in all of that and more on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz. Before we dive in on all this news, though, I want to let you guys know that around 61% of you guys who watch our videos are not subscribed here on Celtics Digest. I would greatly appreciate if you guys do hit that subscribe button, as we are less than 40 subscribers away from our goal of 4,000 subscribers by the end of the playoffs. If you want to make sure you stay up to date on daily news, content, everything revolving around this team, this is the spot for you. We'll have live watch-alongs once the finals come back up once again. Make sure to stay tuned. Without further ado, though, let's dive into the video at hand. Make sure to grab a snack, as it's going to be a jam-packed episode. And like I mentioned, Kristaps Porzingis is progressing in the right direction. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he is coming back and looks like he is going to be ready for this finals series. Now, personally, when Kristaps Porzingis got out and was injured at first, I did not want him playing in the semifinals regardless of who we played, if it was the Magic or the Cavaliers. And ultimately, if we did play the Knicks, I did want to see him, but luckily, we got to play the Indiana Pacers. Therefore, the Celtics had a little bit of an adjustment, had a little bit of a smart decision-making, saying, should we bring back Kristaps Porzingis? Should we try to rush him? Or should we wait for him to be fully healthy, fully ready to go? And they made the ultimate smart decision by holding Kristaps Porzingis out, and now, luckily, we'll be bringing him back for the finals. But if we want to look at some injury updates today, we see from Jared Weiss today, Joe Mazzulla's Kristaps Porzingis injury update. He did everything the team did. Will go significantly harder tomorrow. Today was a moderate working day, but he went through everything that the team did. This makes me smile from ear to ear, ladies and gentlemen. We have had some injury updates for Porzingis in the past, talking about how he's been working on the bike, how he's working behind the scenes with the team, how he's progressing. Jrue Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Derrick White have all seemingly said that when Kristaps Porzingis comes back, when he's healthy, when he's ready to go for this team, he's seemingly just going to fit like a glove right back into this rotation and get his baskets, get his defense, get his work through. Ultimately, what that shows to me is that he's working with this team fine-tuned, trying to get everything going, maybe having some drills with JB by himself or having some drills with Jrue by himself to kind of get him into that flow of motion. The only thing that I am a little concerned with Kristaps Porzingis coming back in the finals is that he's been out for an extended period of time. If you guys did not know this, Kristaps Porzingis, if he does play in Game 1, he will be out for over a month, and if he does not play in Game 1, he'll be out for at least 5.5 weeks, which is not good for Celtics fans. Cannot have Kristaps Porzingis, come into the finals having no ramp up, having no workup time to really get back into that basketball mindset. Obviously, through practice and stuff he's been getting, but no physical game man activity, no actual game pressure that's going to add it to your stress of playing on the injury. And that's something that we haven't really seen with Kristaps Porzingis. That's why, personally, I would have liked to see him come back in the Eastern Conference Finals, regardless of it was a sweep for the Celtics in Game 4. Give him 10 to 15 minutes just to kind of get himself back in there. But if he's not healthy, if he wasn't even deserving of those 10 minutes, say Kristaps Porzingis was like, hey, I can't even get out there to play those 10, 15 minutes, then it's smart what the Celtics did and resting and holding him. But we've got some more updates revolving around the man, Kristaps Porzingis. He said that Kristaps Porzingis seems like a joy to be around and hang out through the entire postseason. Even though he hasn't been able to play for the Celtics from majority of the playoffs, his highs don't get too high, his lows don't get too low. He has a great perspective, great understanding, and great experiences. So Joe really telling us how fantastic Kristaps Porzingis has been with this fit with this team. Ultimately, as well, we've seen Kristaps Porzingis come out and say he loves the city of Boston. He chose the city of Boston for the best chance to win a championship, but also has made some great friendships over being here. We obviously know him and Jaylen Brown, the cookies and cream duo. They are a powerhouse. They live together. They travel with each other to the games and stuff like that. They commute together. These guys are best friends. Porzingis ultimately has some other guys like Luke Cornett. We see him talking on the sidelines, Peyton Pritchard, stuff like that. Al Horford is other big man tandem guy. Luke Cornett, he is just such a positive figure, such a happy-go-lucky guy, and for the fact that Boston is lucky to have him and he's happy to be in Boston in this role is huge for the Boston Celtics and huge for their fans to see him come back. Ultimately, I think that he is seemingly going to fit right back in, like Jrue Holiday, like Jaylen Brown, like Derrick White have said in the past in these interviews. I am a little bit worried. Let me know what you guys think down below about this Kristaps Porzingis injury update, all this Kristaps Porzingis news. How are you guys feeling? I'll get to your comments. I'll read them. I'll definitely give them a like. Got some more update on Kristaps as well from Jrue Mazzulla on Porzingis, finally getting a chance to play beyond the first round, saying one of the great things about him is he's been through so many things and that he has a poise and temperament about him. Basically saying Porzingis doesn't really care, not really worried. Happy that he's with the team, happy that he's traveling, happy that he's going to be able to come back and play basketball with this squad for a championship, and he's being very patient, has a lot of poise, which is awesome. Again, like I said, I'm ecstatic. I'm smiling from ear to ear. This is what I want to see from my superstar player. I don't want to see him frustrated or mentally, distracted or anything like that. I want him to be locked in. And Kristaps Porzingis has been nothing but the definition of locked in. Injured himself before the season starts. Oh, I'm not going to go play with Latvia in the Olympics or in the Summer Olympic Games. I'm going to stay here, or the Euro Olympic Games, excuse me. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to rehab. I'm going to make sure I'm ready fully 100% for the Celtics. That happened. He jumped off the start, was fully healthy with the team to start off, then had some injuries here and there, had a calf injury, had a hamstring injury, missed some sporadic games, 7 games here, 10 games here, but ultimately was majorly healthy for this squad. And when he was out there, when he was making those impacts, he was a key to their success, scoring down low in the post, being a rim protector, and that's something we're going to see needed versus this Dallas Mavericks squad, versus big men like Derek Lobby, versus big men like Daniel Gafford. These guys are high lob threats, very good rebounders, and very good paint beasts. So having Kristaps Porzingis on them, not just Al Horford on them to get tired, but having Kristaps Porzingis, our best center, on them, and also dragging them out to the three-point line, trying to pull them out off on offense to have the Celtics get an easier basket at the paint is going to be huge, and helping to make sure that he doesn't get caught in the pick and rolls, because we know that Dallas loves to use the pick and roll, and unfortunately Boston hasn't had the greatest defense with it. Also want to talk about this as well, as Mazzulla said the decision making with how to use Porzingis in this series won't be any different than usual, basically saying once again that he's going to come seamlessly fit in, be that glove, be that guy, be that transcender for this Celtics team. And that's what makes me ecstatic, makes me happy to see from this squad. Joe believes in Porzingis. Porzingis believes in himself. The team is believing in him. And they cannot wait to see Kristaps Porzingis come back, be ready to go, take over, and be that guy for the Boston Celtics to help us get to that chip. I'm very ecstatic. I think that this is going to be a huge increase for the Celtics to win the championship. And if he's available game 1, and it's looking like it is right now, my heart is telling me that he's going to be available for game 1. He's kind of already told us he's going to be available for game 1. If he is ready, if he is there to go for the Celtics on June 6th, I think we got this series wrapped up. We need Porzingis to win this series, and I am believing in him. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Before we head out, though, I do have to get to the... Oh, no, it's not here. It's here. Comment of the day. Sorry for that, but comment of the day. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, drop down your comments down below. We've been missing the past comment of the days just to do reaction videos, but they are back, and we are here with another one from our boy BX, talking about how Joe can take away from all these playoff series is how important bench minutes are for the not-so-usual contributors, and it has to start during the regular season. The Heat and Pacers had 12 guys play over 800 minutes in the regular season. The Cavs had 10 guys play over 1,000. The C's had 9 guys play over 900. But then there was a significant drop-off for the 10th and 11th guy. Now, injuries play a huge role in that, but you could tell that no matter how deep the coaches went into playoffs, they had faith in the bench. Luckily, there's only at most 7 games left, and Joe has the luxury of having 5 guys who can have 40 minutes each night and carry the burden for the rest of the playoffs. BX, all I want to say and talk about your comments, thank you for leaving it. Like I mentioned, if you leave your comment, drop it down below. You can be featured for comment of the day. But BX brought up some valid points. The Heat, who used their dark magic with their role players last series, or last season versus the Celtics, had some decent role players that couldn't be effective versus the Celtics, but were effective in some ways. The Pacers definitely, and the Cavs had some guys too. Karis LeVert, Max Strus, Georges Niang go off for the Cavaliers. For the Pacers, we obviously had Andrew Nembhard. Obi Toppin had some really big games. Aaron Nesmith was all right for a majority of the series, even though he did foul out. TJ McConnell, those guys kind of really stepped up. And you brought up some valid points. The Celtics don't really have that. And that's what I brought up in our last video. So if you guys missed yesterday's video, definitely check that out. He is the X Factor, talking about the 3 potential X Factors for this Mavericks series. I went over talking about Kristaps Porzingis being an X Factor with him being healthy, Jrue Holiday as he is our defensive menace on Luka and Kyrie. I talked about how the bench needs to step up. We need to have games from Al Horford, Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser. Even if it's not consistent games every single night, I need to see at least one game from Al Horford where he hits 4 or 5 threes. I need to see one game from Sam Hauser where he has 2 to 3 3-pointers and plays some exceptional defense, And I need to see a game from Peyton Pritchard where he has 3 threes and 5 dimes, at least something like that. I'm not asking for it every game, but sporadically. Pritchard plays good in game 1, Hauser plays good in game 3, Horford plays good in game 2. That's what I want to see. Those are the type of things that I want to see with this squad, and especially with these rotations. You mentioned the 10th, 11th guy not really having that extra moment. It's because Joe uses a bunch of different guys from Brissett to Tillman to Queta, and we might see some of those adjustments in the playoffs and the finals as well. So don't be afraid. I want to see Joe bring out the best. He's been studying Dallas. He's been preparing for Dallas. Like we mentioned, if we want to look at this one right here, he's saying Dallas is unpredictable in crunch time. You just have to get ready to make plays and try to communicate and be ready to execute. So Joe's ready to execute. The players are ready to execute. He's been doing his due diligence studying this team, and I think that the Celtics are going to come prepared and ready to go to take down this Dallas Mavericks team. Let me know what you guys think down below about this Kristaps Porzingis injury update. I want to say thank you all for tuning into this video. If you guys, like I mentioned, are at this point of the video and still aren't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. We've been pushing for this goal. We're less than 40 subs away from 4,000 subscribers. We appreciate every single one of you. So I'd greatly appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out. Have a great rest of your day, and go Boston Celtics.